right. Bring us on in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here we go. Let's go. Hey, listen. We back, man. And for those that don't know what that is, this is the Armor God radio show.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
We back.
I pressed the button for IT. They were clapping and everything.
Appreciate it. We needed something. I'm your host today, Officer Sear, to my left.
Officer Menahem.
To my right.
Officer Pelaya.
To my furthest left.
Officer David.
Oh, we got who in the house?
Officer David.
Oh,
down the water.
Hey, pan the camera there. We got somebody else.
Yeah. We forgot somebody. My bad. Pan the camera.
You almost
keep
there.
on.
Hold on.
I got
You got it?
I gotta bring him in. Let me
about
bring
to
him
pan the
over.
camera
Let me
right
bring him
quick.
over. There we go.
Oh.
This is Officer.
Don't worry. He's loading. He'll be in soon.
Officer Ladenaya.
He'll be in soon. So, hey, listen. We got a jam-packed show today. Will we finish it? Not sure, but we're going to do what we can to get through it, all right?
Right.
So today, first, we're going to go into Air France. That's first of all.
We starting off like that.
Huh?
Starting off like that.
Right.
So y'all know what France got going against IUIC, all right? They trying to, dissolve us.
The hell is this?
So they got a lot that they're trying to do. So we're going to tackle that first, and then we're going to get into the saga of Black Vikings. Something different. You know, white people ain't going to like that.
I ain't gonna like it.
Not going to like that.
I got all these Norse tattoos for no reason.
But we're going to get right into it. Get us Ephesians 6.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God.
Put on the what?
Put on the whole armor of God.
So here in IUIC, we put on the whole armor of God.
That's right.
That's what we do. We out here fighting the wiles of the devil. There's a lot of stuff going on inside the body and outside. So we always have to have on the whole armor of God. Some brothers walking here with the shoulder pads on, no helmet. That ain't gonna help you. They got partial stuff on, but you need the whole armor, bro.
That's right.
Need the whole armor.
That's right.
So, hey, listen, we about to just jump right into it. All right. Pull up that first that book that I got for you. Pull up that first book, number 1. And get Ezra 1 for me. Get Ezra chapter 1.
Get Ezra chapter 1.
Yes, sir.
Ezra chapter 1. Yeah, go ahead. Now pull it back up.
What verse, sir?
We're going to start at verse 1.
He went to
So
Ezra's. Lord
this book right here is called The Banner of Israel. The Banner of Israel. I didn't put the date. I think this book was, there, go right there. What'd that say? Officer Pilar, when was this book written? Get the title first. Get the title. Scroll back up.
Identity.
Right there.
Banner of Israel, a weekly journal. Identity of the British nation with the lost 10 tribes.
Why is the 10 tribes a British nation?
Wow.
Very, very confusing. Read.
Volume 5. 1881.
So this book was written in 1881. All right. Read Ezra. Go ahead, officer.
That's during the time, just to be clear, where on the the Western Hemisphere, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics were enslaved.
Yes.
So the reason I'm saying that, officer, is so you know that this is not authorized or authored or published by a black man. So what we about to read is about to be heavy.
Yes, very heavy. Read Ezra chapter 1 and verse 1.
The book of Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 1.
And I'll explain why we're going here in a minute. Read.
Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord might, by the mouth of Jeremiah, might be fulfilled.
Read.
The Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia.
So the Lord stirred up King Cyrus, okay, and during the time of the Persian captivity. Read.
That he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying,
Come on.
Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord God of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judea.
So to catch y'all up on speed, the Lord put the spirit on King Cyrus to let the Israelites go during the Persian captivity. When they was let go, the southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they went back to where? Jerusalem to do what? To build the temple. Northern kingdom, which is Ephraim on down, a lot of them or bulk of them came over to this side of the world. But not all of them. Not all of them. Read verse 4.
Verse 4. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth.
If they remained in the place where he sojourneth, why was he sojourned there? Because we were scattered in slavery. So a lot of northern kingdom, well, a bulk of them came over here, but some of them said, you know what? I ain't going to go over to the other side of the world. I'm going to stay in the land where I was carried captive at, and I'm just going to build here. That's what happened. So a lot of northern kingdom stayed in places like Spain, France, Great Britain, Europe. All of these places over there, a lot of them stayed over there. Read on.
And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth.
Okay, right there. Now give me the banner of Israel. I'm bringing all of that out for a reason. Because most people just, when they hear about France, Europe, places like Germany, Great Britain, Belgium, they only think about what color skin people? White people.
Wow.
White.
That's what they think. Okay, we're going to see.
This?
All of this got something to do with France. Go to the next slide. Start at so wherever. Whatsoever.
Yes, sir. So whatever intermixture of races, certain when we remember the scattering of Israel may be found in Britain.
Israel may be found where?
In Britain.
What is Israel doing in Britain? Why is they in Britain? I'm so confused. Read on.
Whatever rifts and remnants of Israel may be found in different parts. It must be true that Britain and her colonies contain the bulk of Ephraim.
The bulk of who?
Of Ephraim.
So who is Ephraim? Ephraim is considered what?
The northern kingdom.
The northern kingdom of Israel. Read on.
And the tribes of Israel.
Read.
His fellows.
And his fellows. Who is his fellows? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Read.
So that when we hear it said that there is in Gael.
In Gael, I want y'all to remember Gael or Gaul. Remember that. Read.
That there is the Gael of the British Isles. And also of the continent.
Read.
We need not believe that this is in favor of the Teutonic theory.
Read.
For the Gaelic race.
For the Gaelic race or the Gallic race. I want y'all to remember that. Or Gael. Just remember that. It's very heavy. Read.
Which evidently came into Europe from Galilee.
From where?
From Galilee.
Read on.
And the adjacent lands.
Let's see who they contain.
Contained many Shemitic people.
Who are the Shemitic people?
Damn.
Who are the Shemitic people? Read.
Other than Hebrew.
Read.
And surely the gatherer of Israel knows his chosen race from another. And has brought to pass that which he ordained in the past.
Now here's the heavy part, officer. Read the next paragraph. Watch this. Let's see who these were, because he said he know his race, his chosen race, more than another. Read.
That the Gaelic race contains some of the scattered Israel.
Proved by who?
Is proved by St. Paul's epistles to the Galatians.
Wow.
So the Gaelic race, or Gael, or the Gauls
from Galilee
was proved to be the scattered Israelites from the that came out of the Persian captivity, which was proved by Paul in his epistle.
Fire. Can I get a script?
Bring it out.
Hey, give me Deuteronomy 4 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
Because you pulled Ezra 1 and 1. You pulled Ezra 1 and 1, right?
Yep.
To prove or to show that when the northern kingdom got the right to leave, it was all prophetic. That's why it says Cyrus, I forgot the words he used, but the Lord was using Cyrus for a purpose. Watch this. Start at verse 26.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 26.
Come on.
I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day.
Read.
That ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land.
Off the where?
Off the land.
So they will no longer be in Galilee, in Jordan, in Jerusalem, in Israel. Read.
Whereunto ye go over, Jordan to possess it.
Come on.
Ye shall not prolong your days upon it.
You shall what?
You shall not prolong your days upon
Meaning
it,
you're not going to be there forever if you break the commandments. Read.
but shall utterly be destroyed.
Now watch this. Read on.
And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
That's why when we get to Paul's letters, it says Galatia, but you don't know who it's talking about because God said he was going to scatter the Israelites, and he used Cyrus as a method to do so. Read on.
And ye shall be few in number among the heathen.
Among who?
Among the heathen.
That's why we just read it and said, you don't know who they are, but surely God knows exactly who they are. Read.
Whether the Lord shall lead you.
Come on.
And there ye shall serve God,
Uh-huh.
the work of men's hands.
Leave it there. I know you're going to use that later on. Yeah.
Go back to it. Let's get it. Go back
Wait,
to
hold
it.
on, hold on.
Go back. We got something?
What the?
Something just happened.
He finished
Oh.
loading in.
He finished
Shalom.
loading.
He
He finished
there he
loading.
is.
Turn the
Oh.
camera. He
Hey,
finished
Shalom.
loading.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh, got some volume? Got some volume? Hey, shalom.
Hey,
Christ
Christ
bless.
What's your name? What's your name?
Hey, shalom. Officer M9 here. Shalom. Made
Hey,
in.
hey, IT, can you hit that for me?
Tell us why you late. Officer.
oh Lord.
Yeah, we
tell
do
us,
this on
can you
live
explain
show.
this while you-
Uh-huh.
That was loaded too.
Said that was loaded?
Yeah,
that
that was loaded
Y'all
too.
had it in the chamber?
Yeah, that was our righteous press of the
It's so
day.
late, even the sound effects.
Sound
coming in
effects,
late.
right.
Right.
They came in after me.
You done threw everybody off.
All
right.
praises.
Hey,
Welcome,
go back to the
officer.
banner of Israel. So now, okay, can y'all do something for me? Look up the word Gaul. Gaul. Where is Gaul at today? Look that up for me.
See if I can find it.
Finish that for me, Officer Pillai. Start at who it can.
Who
Or
it-
start at proved by St. Paul.
Yes, sir. Proved by St. Paul's epistles to the Galatians.
So Gaul, the Gaelic race, or the Galatians. Read.
who it can be seen are Israelites.
So when Paul go to the Galatians in the Bible, those are who, officer?
Who it can be seen are Israelites.
Paul was talking to the Israelites in Galatia. Those were the northern kingdom of Israel that was in Galatia who Paul was talking to.
Right.
Give me that, what is Gaul? Where is Gaul at today? Let's see what it says. Let's see if y'all picked the right one. Pull it up for me. Well, read that for me, please. Don't read the top part first. Read Gaul first.
Gaul.
Uh-huh.
The region inhabited by the ancient Gauls.
The Gauls or Gael. Read.
Comprising modern day France.
Modern day where?
France.
France.
And parts of Belgium.
Belgium.
Western Germany.
Germany.
And northern Italy.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me it was Northern Kingdom, it was Israelites in France, in Belgium, in Germany, and Northern Italy? Why was they over there? Because they stayed over there when they got released from the Persian captivity.
Right.
So when they was over there, who did they run into eventually? These so-called white folks that came into France. Give me the next one. Give me number 2. You got something else? Give me number 2. Y'all got something chime in. We hitting France right now. Give me number 2. Let's see. Because contrary to popular belief, you so-called Native American Indians, they think France ain't got nothing to do with them. Y'all ever notice when black folks, I'm saying black folk for a reason, go through stuff, certain Mexicans, so-called Dominicans, they feel like they ain't got nothing to do with them. So-called Native Americans, they think the same thing. Oh, they ain't got nothing to do with us. It definitely does have something to do with you.
Bring it out.
Read that. Give me number 2. Yup, read that.
Indigenous and Atlantic Histories Commonplace sits down with Brett H. Rusford.
Yep, now you good. Slide over. Let's see what was said. Read that. Between the 1600s?
Between the 1660s and 1760s, the colonists of New France.
Do what?
Of New France.
Of France. Read.
Held thousands of American Indians as slaves.
Wait a minute. So Gad was slaves under France?
Right.
The fourth head? But so-called Native Americans think they ain't got nothing to do with this dissolvement that we got going on in IUIC.
You gonna learn today?
No, y'all are part of the 12 tribes, so y'all are part of that
Right.
dissolvement.
Right. That's right.
Y'all got something? Y'all good?
You go ahead.
Keep going, Officer.
perhaps as many as 10,000 over the course of the century in a relatively small colony.
They had 10,000 slaves and called that a small colony. Read.
Targeting hundreds of distinct native peoples.
Yes.
The slave trade that supplied the colony reached across vast spans of geography.
Vast spans of what?
Of geography.
Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28. Unless you about to bring that up.
No, you good. You good. I'm
got it?
going somewhere else.
All right, get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 51. Then you can go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 51.
Is it 51?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle
Read.
and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Read.
Which also shall leave thee shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or increase.
No, my bad. Go to verse 49.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. We talking to you, northern kingdom. Read.
From the end of the earth.
Didn't it just say they had a vast span across geography? So France went across seas and stuff to go put a certain people into slavery.
You gonna learn today.
Over here and over there in France. New France. Read.
As swift as the eagle flies.
As swift as the what?
As swift as the eagle flies.
Now I want y'all to remember that eagle part. Officer, you got something? I'm gonna let you go. I want y'all to remember that eagle part. Remember the eagle part. We go right there, Officer Pilar.
Right.
Remember the eagle part. Get me the next slide. Number 3. Remember as swift as the eagle. So we know the eagle to be what? The conquistadors.
Work.
Columbus and them came over here. John Smith, Hector Cortez. But read that.
Native American slavery and interactive.
Huh?
Native American slaves in New France.
Jesus Christ.
As many as 10,000 Indians were enslaved between 1660 and 1760.
Read down. Stop. Just drop down. Could y'all expand that for the office? Go down between 1660 and 17.
Between 1660 and 1760.
France.
French colonists
Uh-huh.
and new French enslaved as many as 10,000 Native Americans.
Let's see what they made them do.
Forcing them to work. Scroll over. Work as farmhands,
Farm hands,
domestic servants,
domestic servants.
and construction laborers.
Don't that sound like Deuteronomy 28?
All right.
That sounds just like Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
Read.
Enslaved natives tended
Livestock.
prepared meals,
And what else did they do?
washed laundry,
That sound like a slave. Read.
loaded trade
Come on.
goods into warehouses and onto boats,
Uh-huh.
and cared for French children.
So we had to watch their children too? So that didn't just happen to blacks
Right.
in America.
Right.
You so-called Native American Indians. France made you do the same thing.
That's
Woo!
All right.
That's right. Go ahead, officer.
All right, I got you. Look. Hey, IT, can y'all go back in the show? Back to last week's notes in AOG. It would have been number Officer Rayuel, big ups to him. It would have been number 8 from his thing from last week. If you can't pull it up, because what made me think about this is I've been researching this a little bit since we've been going that back and forth with France with they France tell.
There's not a back and forth.
Right. Since we've been stomping them
There's
down.
There's
right.
not been a
right.
back and forth at
That's
all.
right.
Since we've
God
been
cut
stomping them down.
God cut their
So-
lights off. It ain't back and forth.
Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. So it says 1660 to 17 and some change, right? Look at that date. That fall in there, don't it? That fall right in there. So this means that this is what you Northern Kingdom was going through. Guess what code Noir means? Black codes. Just like they had over here.
Wow.
Black codes, right? It was a set of codes. Go ahead and read it.
What is Code Noir? Issued in 1685 by King Louis the 14th.
14. Yeah.
It was a royal decree that regulated the treatment of enslaved Africans.
Hey, you see that? You see what they do? But it just said that American Indians were enslaved in France too. So it won't just Africans in the French colonies. It won't just Africans. It was the Northern Kingdom too, read.
And free blacks in French colonies.
Read, come on.
Especially in the Caribbean, like Saint Dominique, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and later Louisiana.
Yeah. Louisiana.
Y'all remember that Louisiana? I got something for you.
Right. Hey, scroll up real quick. Just to the bottom of that slide. All right, go ahead.
It outlined how slavery should operate.
So what it did was set up a set of laws of how they were supposed to treat their slaves, right? But jump down real quick. The last one, look at what it did.
The Code Noir legally defined black people
And American and Native Americans, right?
as property.
That means you was property too. So when you think you ain't got nothing to do with what we went through, you went through it also with us. You were always there with us. They didn't say what type of black person. They just said black people. That's what's going on here.
The hell is this?
Bienes muebles, movable goods. You were property, not fully human under the law. Crazy.
You're going to learn today.
Hey, what makes that heavy is I was just touching on this yesterday, Officer David. I did a comparison in the timeline concerning France's oppression and what happened here in the States.
Right.
The U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Rights of a Man happened within the same 8 years. Every single thing, the black codes, everything is exactly aligned. The Statue of Liberty, which came from France as a gift to America, is symbolizing their common interests. It says that, which is the slaves.
Right.
Get Deuteronomy. Get Daniel 9 and 11.
You said something heavy. Yes, sir.
Watch this, because you're right. I don't know why they keep doing that. You know what I think it is? With Northern Kingdom, I'm going to be real. I think it's because we say we teaching blacks Hispanic. They're not first. They get mad. You got to cut it out. The Bible says all Israel. Watch this. Read that.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 11.
Come on.
Yea, all Israel.
Who?
All Israel.
That's the 10 tribes, the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom have done what?
Have transgressed thy law.
Read.
Even by departing.
Come on.
That they might not obey thy voice.
Read.
Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
Upon who?
Upon us.
That is both kingdoms. It's poured upon us. They keep thinking that things only happen, that slavery in such great numbers only happened to blacks. No, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. It says that Judah and Israel will be what? Oppressed together. Read.
And that is written in the law of Moses,
Come on.
the servant of God.
Watch this.
Because we have sinned against him.
Because we just read earlier in Ezra, what was going on? We were in captivity. Captivity. Read on.
And he hath confirmed his word, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
A great evil. That is called slavery. The transatlantic slave trade, guess what? France also had something to do with it. They also had something to do with it. Every time you read about slavery, it ain't just one kingdom. It never happened. It's always all Israel. Wait, matter of fact, finish the scripture.
Finish it.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
Upon Israel. That's why the same people be enslaved. It doesn't matter what captivity. Because you just mentioned a point. They like to think that all the Northern Kingdom came to the side of the earth. Wait, that means that we wasn't oppressed together. That means that eliminates the scriptures. No, everything that Moses said, we just read in Daniel, it happened. The curse was poured upon us.
That's crazy, also, because they got the story that the Statue of Liberty, it was something France sent as a mockery to U.S. slavery, and they say they the land of the free. But it was just a gift because, like you said, they had common interests. Wow, that's crazy.
And
Go ahead, Dave.
I don't know if I might be touching your topic because you said that going back to that last article that you pulled up with Louisiana. So if y'all know y'all history, Louisiana was owned by France.
Yes. Yep.
You all right.
Going into, I'm gonna leave it alone.
You are, if you got something, go ahead.
I'm just letting y'all know, like, you know, Louisiana Purchase is going into France. France used to own Louisiana.
Yep.
So going into that, that's why I want to touch it, but I didn't want to. But no, just in 1803, the United States purchased roughly 828,000 square miles from the land from France. So yeah, going into that history right there.
Name one time. It's crazy. Name one time you seen two separate nations at war, and then that other nation loses and gives them a gift. Because they're the same people. Cause it's the French-American War, right? That exists, right? In history. They was just battling over slaves and land. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
Brothers fight and get cool again. That's how it goes.
That's exactly.
Hey, that movie Goodbye Uncle Tom. Isn't the premise of that movie like somebody from like Italy or France or something coming to the South to see how they were treating their slaves?
Yes.
To take it back to where they were.
Where they were.
Yeah. That's what the whole movie was.
That's why there's a lot of the Creole or the Cajun in Louisiana, they speak a little bit French, broken French.
Yeah.
One more thing, officer.
Do you think?
Hey, in France, they had a problem with the struggles of abolishing slavery. Doesn't that sound familiar? They didn't. Slavery was first abolished in 1794 in France. When did it happen in so-called America? 1776. Not abolished, but that's when America got quote unquote their independence, right? In 1802, Napoleon reinstated slavery. In 1885, all of a sudden, now let's give them the Statue of Liberty, which means freedom. And then the damn statue got shackles on her feet.
Hey,
Right.
Come on, man.
Hey, I know we gotta give it back to Officer Sear. IT, you can pull that image up real quick of the Louisiana Purchase, because it is a huge portion of land. I don't think people really realize how much French was detrimental to the Americans, the Native Americans. France. I pronounced it wrong for France. Right? So, hey, y'all can pull that picture up I sent of the Louisiana Purchase. Let's see how much land France was oppressing over here. That's what you got to say. Was oppressed. Look at that. Look at that. You think it was just Louisiana?
That's a third of the country.
France was oppressing, the middle part of America. Yeah.
Yo, that's wild, bro.
Yeah. That's a lot of gad right there.
Go to show this after number 3. Let's get into this Louisiana stuff. We got 2 more. Read that for me, officer.
Yes, sir. Slavery was introduced by French colonists in Louisiana. I gotta see the right. Slavery was introduced by French colonists in Louisiana.
In where?
In Louisiana.
In Louisiana.
In 1706.
Read.
When they made raids on the
Chitimacha settlements.
Chitimacha settlements.
Those are Native American Indians. Read.
Thousands of indigenous people were killed.
Read on.
And the surviving women and children were taken as slaves.
So if the surviving women and children were taken as slaves, who was mainly of the thousands that were killed? The men. The men. Read.
The enslavement of natives included
All this is Louisiana. Read.
the Atacapa,
Come on.
Bayogola,
Read.
Natchez,
Read.
Choctaw,
Read.
Chickasaw, Tanasa,
Tenase. Read.
and the Albemarle
Read.
peoples who would continue throughout the history of French rule.
Of French rule. Dave, you got something on that? Are you good? You sure? So we talking about slavery by the French on Gad, who think they ain't got nothing to do with this French stuff. Get Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 14. We got one more and then we're going to get into the topic. For France.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 14.
Read.
Then I cut asunder mine staff.
Get number 4 ready. Read.
Even bands.
The bands are Ephraim. Beauty is the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom. The bands is the northern kingdom. He going to break the bands. Read.
That I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
So it will come a point in time, officers, where that's fire, officers. Wow. It is going to come a time where the Lord said he will break the brotherhood between the southern and the northern kingdom. Right. So did God physically come down here and break the brotherhood himself, like himself? Did he come down here off his throne and do it? So he had to put the spirit on somebody to break the brotherhood of who? Southern and northern kingdom. Show number 4. Give me that book title. Shout out to Officer David. I know you ain't give it to me, but this Louisiana. You was in the spirit, David. Read that. The title?
Africans in colonial Louisiana.
In colonial Louisiana. Now, don't be confused. It says Africans, right? But when we go into the Bible and what we just read, and we read the slide just a few seconds ago, those people that was put in slavery was who? Gad. They called them Africans, they called them black, they called them Negroes because they reclassified them as that. So when they wake up one day or they decide to go to the government to get their land back that was stolen, they're not classified as Indians. They're classified as Negroes, so they wouldn't have rights to the land. That's why they did it. Go into the book. And we got one more, and then we're gonna get into the topic. Go down. Start at So the French.
So the French reasoned in using the Indians to keep the blacks in submission.
So that happened. So a lot of other camps back in the day when I first came in said they don't believe Gad is the so-called Native American Indians because they did at one point have Judah and parts of Benjamin and Levi in submission. But they only did that because France took over their land and said, listen, we will give you somewhat liberty, but you got to put those blacks, those niggers, you have to put them in submission. But when Gad did it, they didn't treat them with hard bondage or nothing like that. They treated them just like Leviticus 25 and 35. They treated them like a brother. Watch what Esau did. Read.
They would have nothing to fear from the Indians.
Read on.
The highest priority of French policy.
Highest priority of French policy was what?
Was to sow misunderstandings between blacks and Indians.
Blacks and Indians. So that was the Lord saying it's going to come a point in time where he break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel. What spirit did the Lord use to do that? France. The fourth head. And Gad think they ain't got nothing to do with this. You got something, Dave?
Sound like France succeeded.
Read on.
Yep.
Read on.
Making their differences forever irreconcilable.
When did we finally come together as Judah and Israel? When did we finally start coming together? Boom.
1960s?
No,
What you
even
talking
after
about?
that. In righteousness.
Oh, yeah,
when we
truth,
got the
that's right.
Bible. So before that, it was forever irreconcilable. We always had issues with each other. Read on.
With this objective in mind, they forbade Frenchmen living among the Indians to have black slaves.
Read.
And forbade French trading among the Indians to bring blacks along with
You
them.
can't bring them along with you if they ain't your slave. So they the ones that sowed the discord or the misunderstanding between Judah and Israel. That was the brotherhood that the Lord said he was going to put the spirit out there to break for us breaking his commandments. He used the fourth head to do that. France. Why they think they ain't got nothing to do with this? You got something else?
Hey, what's that saying that they use towards Gad? What, kill the Indian?
Kill the Indian, save the man.
Yes,
You know, in the Willie Lynch, I was just looking at it, they use the same term towards the so-called blacks. Break the Negro, keep the slave. It's the same thing. It's because they understood and they knew exactly who they were enslaving. That's what I'm trying to explain. Both sides can't get away from it. Not according to God's prophecy.
Wow.
You can't get out of it.
We just toured a plantation over here, one of the largest ones that was in North Carolina.
I seen the picture.
Over 30,000 acres, by the way. We'll get to that. Watch the documentary. All praises. Look, they said they strategically set their plantation on where they set it at because they discovered that it was Native American trade routes that they set parallel to the rivers that were on that land. So they took the land, enslaved the Native Americans, built their plantation, and then they put all of us together and called everybody Negroes. They openly admitted it on the tour. No matter what, if you look like you want Edomite, they put you with the Negroes and call all of us Negroes. We was oppressed together. Damn. Crazy.
Damn. Go. Yep. Let's get number 5, and that's the last one. Officer Pilar, read Deuteronomy 28 and 49 again, and pull up number 5. That's the last one. Then we're gonna get to the topic. We on time, to be honest.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 49.
Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far,
Right.
from the end of the earth,
Yep.
as swift as the eagle flyer.
As swift as the what?
The eagle flyer.
Pull up number 5. Read eagle, officer, and then just start at a common name.
Eagle, a common name by a hooked beak. A common name of many large birds of prey, characterized by a hooked beak and curved, sharp and strong claws, talons, and by its great powers in flight and vision.
So that's one showing what the definition of an eagle is. Read the next one.
Often regarded as a symbol of royalty.
It's a symbol of royalty. Read.
A military standard.
A military standard for who? Scroll over. A military standard for who?
Having the figure of an eagle. Such as that of ancient Rome.
Ancient Rome.
And modern France.
Boom.
F France.
So in the book of Deuteronomy, when he said, the eagle flies swiftly, shall come up towards you, I'm paraphrasing. We like to say Columbus. We like to say the conquistadors and only them.
Right.
France came too.
That's right.
To you Native American Indians. So y'all got everything to do with this. Stop thinking stop thinking y'all are separate.
Right.
France messed y'all up too. You got something?
No, Rome, we gotta read on. You gotta
read on.
Ancient Rome and modern France. A gold coin of the United States.
Damn. So it's letting you know, and think about it, all three of those is Edomite nations.
Yes.
So that eagle is talking about Esau. It's clearly letting you know, or maybe we'll read a dark nation. No. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Ooh. Red nations. So France did the same exact thing. So stop just saying Christopher Columbus. Stop just saying the conquistadors, John Smith. Talk about France as well.
Britain. It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them.
Rome, Greece, all of them.
Now, for France. Now let's get to the topic.
We got a thumbnail, officer?
Yes. Show the thumbnail. Now let's get to the topic. Jeez.
F France while we waiting.
Hey, by the way, y'all, can we please get the monitor here?
Yeah,
Because we looking up like
we looking up. It's crazy.
I just want to take a moment to F France. There we go.
That's crazy. I'm telling y'all, I warned y'all about y'all vocabulary earlier. I warned
it started
y'all.
already.
It started.
Hey, it
he
would
wants
be
to
him
take
first.
a moment
It
to
would-
do
it
it.
would be him first.
Listen. I don't condone any moments or any time that you're gonna do that. Stay with us, all right?
Let's get so we about to get into the topic of the saga of Black Vikings.
Woo!
Now, a lot of people watch the TV shows and stuff like that, but a lot of people don't know Israelites was Vikings too. Remember, we prefaced it earlier in Ezra.
What did he say?
Yeah. We prefaced it earlier in Ezra by saying a lot of northern kingdom and parts of Judah and Levi and Benjamin stayed on the other side over there at Jerusalem, in Europe, in Spain, Germany, Britain, Belgium. They stayed on that side. The bulk of northern kingdom came over there, but a lot of them stayed over there on that side. Right? Give me James 1:1, Officer Bly. And then pull up number 1. Whenever y'all want to jump in, y'all come on.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Let's get it.
James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ,
Uh-huh.
to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
Greek.
So the 12 tribes of the children of Israel were scattered abroad. Doing where? Doing slavery. So now we're going to hit a topic on some areas where Israelites were scattered to that most people didn't even think they was at. It don't make, when we bring out where these Israelites were, which was us, you would say, why in the hell are they even over there? How did you get over there? We're going to see. Give me Job 8:8 and then pull number 1.
The book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8.
Read.
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age,
Of the former age.
and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
This goes into searching your history. Search for the history of your forefathers. A lot of it ain't going to be righteous. Some of it's going to be wicked. But you still have to know your history. No matter what it is, you got to know where you come from, because that's the only way you will know where you're going. All right? Show number 1. Let me see. Watch this. So now, Israelites were scattered abroad in many captivities. Read that, Officer Pala.
Babylon, 605 BC to 539 BC.
Read.
Persian Media, 539 BC to 331 BC. Greece, 331 BC to 168 BC.
Yep.
Rome, 64 BC to 193 AD.
64 BC to 193 AD.
EU and NATO, 1441.
Wait, stop right there. Rome ended when?
193 AD.
The next power was what?
1441.
Officer, I'm confused.
Did we just jump time?
Did we just jump time?
Something was going on there.
Something happened.
Did we time
There's
travel?
a missing time period.
There's a missing time, right?
Yeah.
It's something happened in between there. Get 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 21.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 12 and verse 21.
Because we don't miss no history. Something happened in between that time. Nothing was going on. Read.
And 2 of them shall perish.
Uh-huh.
The middle time approaching.
So when it says the 2 of them, if you read up, we ain't going into it. It's going into the 8 contrary feathers. We ain't going into all that, the seasons. We ain't going into all that. Read verse 21 again.
And 2 of them shall perish.
Read.
The middle time approaching.
The middle time is approaching. The middle time is approaching. Officer, what is this middle time?
You gonna learn?
What is this middle time? Bring it out, Dave. Or either one, anybody.
Hey, it has different names. The Dark Ages.
Come on.
The Byzantine Empire.
Come on.
It has different. See, you know what it is too, officer. I gotta say this. Bring it out. They think we dumb niggas. And we don't study history.
Right.
We don't study. They've already said they know that the book of Daniel is the most accurate book according to prophecy. What you said, Job 8 and 8?
Yes.
So
The search of the fathers.
but the Bible is our book of our fathers.
Book of our fathers.
So when we search it, we know exactly what's going on, you liars.
They think we stupid.
Surprise.
Hey, it said, inquire, I pray thee of the former age. That's look back in your past. And then it says, prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. So we ain't just going back to the former. We going even further back.
Right.
We going even further back. Read Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 18.
Yes, sir.
The middle time approaching, and then get number 2 ready.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 18.
Y'all jump in whenever y'all ready.
The beginning, ending, and midst of the time.
So Solomon knew the beginning, the ending, and the what, officer?
Midst of the time.
So we have the midst of the time, and we have the middle time approaching. This is going into the Dark Ages. This is going into the Byzantine Empire. Why do they call it the Dark Ages? Because it's when black people was ruling. That's what it's going into. And a lot of times we only like to say, not us only, a lot of us like to say, oh, we were the Moors, and they stop right there. Oh, no. We was calling ourselves way more than just the Moors. And that's what we bringing out today. Show number 2. Remember, after 193, who rose up? Who know? Y'all know. Who came into power and took over Rome? Septimius Severus. Right? Read that, the Viking Age.
The Viking Age is generally considered to have lasted from the late 8th century to the middle 11th century.
Read.
Roughly 793 AD
793 AD after the death of Christ. Read.
to 1066 AD.
Wait a minute. When we pulled up the captivities earlier, it was a huge gap in there
Right.
where we didn't see anything going on.
Right.
After Septimius Severus rose up to conquer Rome and was the emperor,
Right.
other stuff began to happen
Right.
called the Dark Ages. And the Viking Age was in the midst of that. You got something?
Hey, officer. I don't know if you just caught. Hey, you know the statue in Daniel used the word, it's about captivity.
Right.
Bring it out, officer.
So it's a reason why that gap is there. Because that was not a time of captivity. Does that make sense?
For
what I'm
the
saying?
Israelites.
For the, right.
For the Israelites.
It's a time
Drop a
jump.
bomb!
Oh my
It's a time jump for a reason. Let me get a scripture. 2nd Ezra 6 and where is it? Start at verse 7.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7.
Come on.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
He said, what is going to be the beginning of the end? That's what Ezra's asking the angel. Read.
Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows?
He said, when is one time going to be over, and when are we going to start the end of times? Read.
And he said unto me,
Come on.
from Abraham unto Isaac,
Uh-huh.
when Jacob and Esau were born of him,
Read.
Jacob's hand first held the heel of Esau.
So he's using the history of his parents as a correlation to the time period, because that was prophetic of what was going to happen to us. Read.
For Esau is the end of the world,
Uh-huh.
and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Watch this.
The
Read on.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
So he's letting you know the time that they were in, the hand and the heel. We're between just before that time happens. That's the same middle times that the scriptures just talked about.
Right.
He said we're betwixt it. He didn't grab the heel yet. It's not that point of time. We're just almost there.
Right.
I was going to ask y'all could pull that image of the statue up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I wanted to see something on that statue real quick. Y'all pull it up. It's, okay, Greece and Rome. Okay. I just wanted to check something. Go ahead. Nah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull a script right quick. Daniel 7:25. So you gotta understand, man, Esau is crafty, right? Our enemies, they think they're gonna come in here and change things around and stop the prophets from learning and understanding our history. As the scripture said in Job 8:8, we are supposed to search the scriptures and find the history of our fathers. Can y'all give me that?
You said Daniel 7:25?
Yes.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25.
Let's
and
go.
he shall speak great words against the Most High,
Uh-huh.
and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
We got warred out in our captivity after captivity because our own iniquity, our wickedness, right? Read.
And think to change times and laws.
So they thinking to change times and laws. We want to change these times and change these dates, change the days of the week. So why we can't figure out what time period we're in, right? But we know, according to the scriptures, going into betwixt what the time of the heel and the foot, we can go in the scriptures and read and see our time frame and know where we're at. Read on.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of
So
time.
yeah, so we're gonna be in the hand of our oppressor for a certain time. But so long as we know the scriptures, we know when that time is going to end. So that's what one thing about our enemies that they try to do, switch the times around and things like that. But it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop this work.
All right. Get number 3. Let's get into it. Let's get to that and then we're going to get it. Get number 3. Let's do some reading.
Ancient and modern Britons.
Ancient and modern Britons. Or Britons. Read.
1884.
When was this book?
1884.
1884, officer.
You gonna learn today?
This white eyes only. Go to the next slide. Let's see what it says. Start at Douglas. Douglas.
Douglas. Literally black swarthy.
We can really stop right there because swarthy means what?
Black.
Black people.
So Douglas means black.
Douglas means black. We can
Is
really
that-
start right there.
Is that Swate P? Is that going into the same
Yup.
word?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Read.
And that of Moray,
Uh-huh.
which with its kindred from the Moor,
His kindred forms of who?
of kindred forms of Moor,
Of more.
Moor,
Uh-huh.
but these only were the original names.
Did not
these
signify-
Only were the original name did not signify
The Moravia?
Moravia,
Uh-huh.
whether in Latin or Gaelic.
Or in where?
Or in Gaelic.
Or in Gaelic. Damn! Or in Gaelic.
The Galilee.
In Galilee.
I'm sorry, officer.
Bring it out.
You have to go back to the first book.
Right.
Yes.
You got to go
Right.
back to the first book. Can we go back to
Go
that
back to the first book. Banner of Israel.
Yeah.
Hey, why? No, they already there. Quick. Okay.
Start at the Gaelic. You want that one up? Or you want Ephraim?
From
Britain
Israel,
and
where
our
it says
colonies?
of Israel may be found in.
Yes, sir.
Different
Rifts
parts. Yep.
and remnants of Israel may be found in different parts. It must be true that Britain,
That where? Isn't that the title of the book you just pulled up? Watch this. Read on.
and her colonies
Uh-huh.
contain the bulk of Ephraim
Watch this. Read.
and of the tribes of
Come
Israel,
on.
his fellows. So that when we hear it said that there is the Gale of the British Isles and also of the continent,
Uh-huh.
we need not believe that this is in favor of the Teutonic theory.
So right there is letting you know that the people in Britain came from Gael, the Gaelic. Am I saying it right?
Yes,
Gaelic?
yes.
I don't
Gaelic.
pause myself. Right? Read on.
For the Gaelic race, which evidently came into Europe from Galilee and the adjacent lands, contained many Shemitic people.
There it is. It's letting you know right there that those people came from Israel, the northern kingdom of Israel. Right. I just, you have to tie it together because you brought it out when we was reading it. You said, make sure y'all remember that.
Yes.
Some fire stuff you got. Come on.
That dude's name was Douglas, and that means King James ancestor, Sir Robert de Bruce.
That's coming.
Okay, I'm leaving it alone.
That's coming.
Dang.
You in the spirit.
That's not heavy.
You all right.
That's heavy.
You all right.
Hey, that's heavy.
Go back to it. Ancient baton. You
And
all
we
right.
got some
officer.
bad forefathers when you get into that. They thought it was bad.
Hey, you all right, officer. You all right. Go to ancient batons. Go back to it. Start at such. So the people that we're talking about that are in these lands is going into the bulk of Ephraim, which is what? The northern kingdom of Israel. Now, we're not naive. We know some Benjamin, some Judah, some Levi's there. We're not bugging. But the bulk of them is northern kingdom, the ones that did not come over here during 2nd Ezra 13. Read as such.
Such are the kind of names that directly point to a descent from the Moors.
Read.
Of those that do so indirectly, nothing need be said here. But in saying this, it is not meant that such names nowadays necessarily indicate that the bearers of them had one or more Pictish ancestors.
So they had Pictish ancestors. Pictish ancestors. So the Gaelics or the Gauls or the Galatians had Pictish ancestors. The Picts. Remember that. Read on. Y'all remember that.
Because it is well known that the surname of the feudal superior was given in many cases to his vassals.
Watch this.
Though wholly unconnected by blood.
Watch this.
Consequently, many of the unwilling followers of a black oppressor.
Of a what?
A black oppressor.
So at some point in time, the northern kingdom on that side was oppressing the so-called white man. They was in rulership. And many of them was like, we don't want to follow that. So what happened to them? They got put to death.
That's some good stuff right there.
Keep going.
Might transmit to their descendants a surname that denoted a complexion vastly different from their own.
Their complexion was not like ours. Get Job 30. You got something, officer? Get Job 30 and verse 1.
So
when were we a quote unquote a black oppressor to Esau? Go ahead, officer.
No, I was just saying. So what that was saying was that the ones who were the northern kingdom who was oppressing the Edomites didn't want the names that the northern kingdom was giving them.
Right.
That's what it was saying. They didn't like the names like more because it denoted a complexion that was different from theirs.
So the same way we didn't like being called by them, they didn't like it neither.
Bring it out.
We started that.
So more means black.
We started that. So now y'all ain't gonna be called that no
Right.
more. Y'all gonna be called the Moors because you're my slave. Gad started that. Gad started that. Get Job 30.
Job chapter 30 and verse 1.
Read.
But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
Job said he don't even want the so-called white man to be around his dogs because he know he gonna do something funny with it. You know they freaks. Y'all know it.
Freaky France.
Read.
Yea, whereunto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished.
Come on.
For want and famine they were solitary.
They were solitary. Read.
Fleeing into the wilderness.
They fled into the wilderness from those black oppressors. Read.
In former time.
Desolate
and waste.
Who was this? Who was pushed out and fled into an area and was desolate and waste? Who was those people? The so-called white man. Pushed out there by a black oppressor. With the S, black oppressors.
Georgia,
Read
Russia.
on. Say it again.
Georgia, Russia, the Caucasus Mountains.
Of the Caucasus Mountains. It's going to say it. Read.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes.
Read.
And juniper roots for their meat.
They used to eat lice, eat their hair, all the draws having them on clothes so long they would disintegrate off their body. They said when you came into that country, before you even met anybody, you smelled them.
Damn.
You smelled them. Verse 5, last verse. Verse 6, 5 to 6, read.
They were driven from among men.
The black oppressors drove them from among men, read.
They cried after them as after a thief.
As they was chased out.
To dwell in the cliffs of the valley.
Of the valleys.
And the caves of the earth.
And in the caves.
And in the rocks.
Georgia, Russia.
Caucasus Mountains.
So those black oppressors were the who? The Israelites.
Right.
Now, was they calling themselves that at that time? No, because like we said earlier, was they always in righteousness? No, they wasn't. But they was in righteousness and know to put Esau in slavery and to push they behind out.
Right.
You got something else?
Yes, sir.
Read.
We're going to stick in that same time. Let's go Malachi chapter 1, and we're going straight to verse 3.
Sir.
Watch this.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 3.
It literally says the same thing, but it sounds good. You got to use precept upon precept because they're going to say how you isolate the scriptures.
Exegete.
My bad. I don't use that
hermeneutics.
tongue. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like I'm going to get the wrong
Say
Holy Ghost on me. I start talking
Exegete.
like that.
Right.
Go ahead, read.
And I hated Esau.
And what?
And I hated Esau.
God said, read it again.
And I hated Esau.
Read.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
There's those Caucasus Mountains that they were pushed to. He said, I'm laying all of that to waste. Read.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished.
They said what?
We are impoverished.
Now, why would they say that? That means they weren't always impoverished. Because during the Roman Empire and the Greece Empire, they were in rulership. Right. But during this dark ages, they are impoverished. Read.
But we will return and build the desolate places.
Now, that's talking about after the time that we're bringing out now. After the dark ages, that's when this happened. This is crazy. You know what? I'm going to talk about this right quick, too. Because a destroyed mindset would say, this is beautiful. That's what people say. You've been to the city? Oh, it's so beautiful. No, this is a recreation of the desolate mountains. That's what it is. They're sitting on high, they're fulfilling prophecy, and you think that it's beautiful.
Concrete pillars.
What's that?
Concrete pillars.
That's it. That's all it is.
Get Revelation 11 and 10. And then pull up that next slide for me.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 10.
Read.
And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them.
Read.
And make merry.
We're going to make merry?
And send gifts one to another.
Why?
Because these two prophets,
Judah and Israel,
tormented
they
them.
did what?
Tormented them.
Read.
That dwell on the earth.
When did we torment them? During the dark ages. That's when we tormented them.
Right.
Judah and Israel. Give me number 5. Let's get it. Let's get it. So now we about to go into, remember what I say, remember earlier? I said remember Gaelic, Pictish, Gaelic, or Gael.
Right.
Read that.
Dub Gael and Fin Gael.
So we got the Dub Gael and the Fin Gael. 2 different types of Vikings.
Right.
Read.
Dub Gael and Fin Gael are Dub Genty and Fin Genty.
Dub Genty or Fin Genty. Read.
Were Middle Irish terms used to denote different rival groups of Vikings.
Of what?
Rival groups of Vikings.
Of Vikings where?
In Ireland.
Ireland?
And Britain.
Wait a minute. Ain't we talking about Ireland and Britain and France and all these other places?
Right.
Read on.
Dub/Fin Gael.
So Dub/Fin Gael. Read.
Is translated as dark and fair foreigners.
So which one means the dark? The Dub. The Fin Gael means the fair. Or what? Read. Or
black and white foreigners.
just to make it more simpler for y'all, they did it. So you got black and you got white. Read.
And similarly, Dub/Fin Genty as dark black and fair white heathens.
Read. Similar.
Similar terms are found in Welsh Chronicles.
In the Welsh Chronicles.
Probably derived from Gaelic usage.
From the where?
From Gaelic usage.
So the Gaelic usage So we have the Dub Gael or Dub Genti against the Fin Gael or the Fin Genti, which is translated to Black Gentiles or Black Vikings and White Vikings. Did that say that? Or am I bugging?
That's what
That
it
said
said.
that, right? Okay, you got some
You're
hoes?
gonna learn today.
All right, look. Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
So the land of Dublin is related to being black.
Oh, yes.
A black land.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm glad you said that. Remember I said the word Gael. Gael was who? Northern Kingdom. Read this.
The word Gael, plural of Gaul.
Gaul is Galatia. Galatians. Read.
Etymologically originates from Gaul.
The Galatians, which was who Paul was teaching in France, modern day France, in the New Testament. Read.
Who in pre-Viking Gaelic history were the archetypical foreigners. Dumville says that what the Gauls had done in Gaelic prehistory to gain the status is unknown and was probably unpleasant.
Here go the next part. Read. During the Viking Age.
During the Viking Age,
Read.
it came to denote Scandinavians.
Scandinavians.
Are those of Scandinavian descent or speech?
Now jump down to the word, to the part number 3.
Number 3.
Scandinavian descent, right? Read.
The word did not denote foreigner.
Read.
In the sense anyone not Irish Gaelic. But the Saxons.
Who were the Anglo-Saxons? Israel. Read.
Welsh.
Remember earlier it said it was Gaels in the Welsh. Why is Gad over there? Read.
And Picts.
And the who?
And Picts.
And the Picts. Go down to another word.
Another word frequently used by the chroniclers in the early phase of the Viking Age.
So another word for the Vikings was what?
Genti.
Remember earlier it said Dub Genti and Fin Genti. Read.
Meaning foreigner of a different religion. This was derived from the biblical usage of the Latin phrase gentis or Gentiles.
Or who?
Or Gentiles.
So these Vikings at this time were called Black Vikings, Dub Genti, or Black Gentiles.
You're gonna learn today.
What was Israel called, Northern Kingdom? What was Paul calling them? Gentiles.
You're gonna learn today.
Can we scroll back up right quick? Just
Scroll
to the
back
top?
up.
Yo, killing me with this.
All right, where it says Dumville says that what the
What the
Gauls
Gauls had done in Gaelic
pre-
prehistory.
to gain that status, so is unknown and was probably unpleasant. With that unpleasant probably is going into the sins which made them Gentiles.
Yes, it was very unpleasant, and the stuff that we was doing to the other nations, it was unpleasant to them. That's why we was considered black oppressors.
Right.
It's all going the same thing. Go to the next. Got some more?
Yep. Let
Go
me
ahead.
get Galatians, because that's what he said.
Yep.
So he's speaking to the Galatians. Watch this. Let's see who Paul and Peter's ministry was to. Let's get Galatians 2 and 8.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2 and verse 8.
Come on.
For he that wrought effectually.
Sorry, start at verse 7.
Verse 7. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me,
So the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed to Paul. Read.
as the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter.
Read on.
For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision.
Watch who the circumcision is talking about, the Jews. Read.
The same was mighty in me toward the Gentiles.
So that's what he was doing, was teaching the Gentiles. He was teaching the Vikings descendants. That's who, not the descendants, the people they originated from, because the time. It's the same thing. But people like to think that, because if you're unlearned and you read that article that you had up there, you're going to think that Paul was teaching all nations. You're going to use it in the wrong context because you don't understand the scriptures. He was only teaching Israelites.
Go to the next slide. It's one more right there. It's one more. It starts with the literal meaning.
Hey, y'all get some good history today.
All praises. All praises.
It's still number 6. It's still number 6. Go down to the literal meaning or go to the next one. Yep, right there, Officer Pilar. Read the top part only.
The literary meaning of Old Irish and Old Welsh dub
So dub comes from Irish or Welsh.
is normally given as dark or black.
So the term dub means dark or black, right? Now, give me the next slide. This is, y'all forgive me. We'll go to number 7. This book is called Ancient Modern Britons. We're still in the Ancient Modern Britons. Let's see the definition. Go to number 7. Read the highlighted part. But the traces?
But the traces of our black ancestry are visibly existent in 100 surnames.
Didn't I say that earlier? That we left the name of Israel and we started calling ourselves other names during the time of the Dark Ages?
Right.
Read.
Some of these denote complexion.
Some of these denote complexion, meaning in those times we called ourselves our nationality after the color of our skin. That's why they called themselves the Moors. Or that's why they called themselves dub genty or dub this or dub that, because dub meant black. Read.
Others do so, but indirectly.
Read.
The first class includes a great many.
Read.
There are the clans Ruari and Dougal,
Douglas,
spelt Dubgale,
black, Gentile,
are black strangers.
who was called strangers. Read.
In their own genealogy.
They was called black strangers in their own genealogy. Who was calling us strangers? The southern kingdom of Israel. Read on. We're going to do a lot of reading. Read.
There are all the varieties of dub, black, such as duff,
black,
dow,
black,
McDuff,
black,
and others.
Read.
There are the dons, cars, and darks with their equivalent duns, browns, grays, and blacks.
All these what?
All these are color names.
Showing what?
Showing a black or tawny ancestor.
So anytime they use these terms like dub, don, cars, brown, grays to put in front of their name, they're saying these are the color of our skin.
Hit the bomb.
Dunn, North Carolina.
Come on, brother.
Dunn, North Carolina, stuff like that.
Dunn.
This is showing the color of our skin. I like when he said that in there. That was fine. Let's get some, give me those AI images. Let's get some. If y'all got something, jump in.
I'm just waiting to get to Douglas, Black Douglas. I'm waiting to get there.
Oh, we're going to get, it's going to be a while. I ain't going to hold you. Show some of them images. Let's see some images of some Vikings. Now, these are some AI images. You know, I did the best I could, but, you know, scroll through them right quick. So we got those. Great. Go ahead. More Vikings. Go ahead. More Vikings. Now watch this one. Go to the next one. So these are the Dub Genty or the Black Vikings. Remember the Dub Gale, Northern Kingdom. Rick, go ahead. See, you got the Dub Gale versus the Finn Gale, or the Black Vikings versus the White Vikings. Go ahead. And this is the Finn Gale right here. The White Vikings, or the fair and white foreigners. Y'all got me? All right. Go to number 9. Go to number 9. Y'all want to jump in? Let me know. Go to number 9 and pull that up. Read the title first.
Early Scandinavian Dublin.
Also, why are we talking about Scandinavia? I'm confused. Why are we talking about Scandinavia? No, you sure? Go ahead, Dave.
No, there's a lot of Viking history in Scandinavia.
Don't they always push Scandinavian?
Yeah.
White folk? Read that.
The first Viking age in Ireland began in 795. When Vikings...
Yes. Yes. You just called it, right? 793. 2 years away. That's 2 years away from... Yes. Read.
When Vikings began carrying out hit-and-run raids on Gaelic Irish coastal settlements.
So you had white Vikings coming up against black Vikings, which was the Northern Kingdom, trying to raid on us, trying to come against us in Dublin. So that means who was running Dublin? We had cities and stuff already created in these areas. That's why we stayed over there during the time of Persian captivity when we were set free. We set up, we didn't just stay there. We didn't just sit there and do nothing. Jump down to in the mid 9th century. Watch this, officer.
In the mid-9th century, Viking leader Torgis, or Thorgis,
A Viking leader named Thorgest.
founded a stronghold at Dublin.
Wait a minute. A Viking leader named Thorgest was in Dublin, a land full of black so-called Native American Indians? What was he doing over there? And why is he called Thorgest? Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Thor was what? One man? The god of lightning and thunder? Remember that. Read on, officer. When you have your
Wait, hold on.
Did you see it? Yeah.
It's passing over a lot of people. So if y'all don't know, Thor isn't a Roman god or a Greek god. He's a Viking Celtic god. But this god, or the name, let me say that, came from the black side of things. Well, hey, when I tell
Esau
you,
got him white.
when I tell you those grape gatherers, boy, they steal everything. Everything.
Friends.
You said you said Thorgest founded a stronghold at Dublin. Jumped down to keep reading.
Plundered Leinster and Meath,
Uh-huh.
and raided other parts of Ireland.
Read.
He was killed by the High King, Mael Shagnal Mac Meli Ruland.
Those are white
Runane,
Vikings.
which was followed by several Irish victories against the Vikings and the seizure of Dublin in 849.
So eventually they ended up beating us over time, but we'll get into that history if time allow. Read on.
Shortly after, a new group of Vikings known as the Dubgale,
A new group of Vikings known as the Dubgale.
Dark Foreigners,
What did they do?
came to Ireland and clashed with the earlier Viking settlers, now called the Fingale.
So we got that. So now we got people named Thorgest and stuff like that who was a Viking. But why is his name Thorgest? I thought it was just one Thor. I thought it was just one. Go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. It should be, yep. So this slide is called African Roots. I told y'all we're going to do a lot of reading if time permit. We got like 20 more minutes, 30 minutes at the most. Go read that, officer. This is called African Roots.
Older text and folklore of England, Ireland, Scotland, and
Oh, say it again. My bad, officer.
older text and folklore of England,
Of England?
Ireland, Scotland, and Wales often mention the arrival of Africans.
Remember we read that earlier. They like to call everything Africans, right? Y'all remember that. He said they were Africans. Read on.
And a distinct African presence.
Read.
Not solely as visitors.
These people that went into England, Ireland, and Scotland, and Wales, and Scandinavia, and all these places, they wasn't visitors. They was what?
But as the original inhabitants.
The original what?
Original inhabitants.
So, officer, when did they go over there as the original inhabitants?
During the Persian captivity.
Yes.
Cyrus let them free. So, y'all know I'm a little off upstairs. So, y'all are indigenous there too. I'm sorry. Y'all indigenous there.
You ain't wearing 2 damn flies, though. You ain't wearing 2 damn flies.
Hey, y'all like to change your name anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
You, get the next slide.
It's
Number 10. Go ahead, officer.
Maxir.
Huh?
Maxir.
Oh yeah, get number 11. Let's get the book title. So remember, it said those original inhabitants was over there. Read that.
Origin of the Anglo-Saxon race.
If y'all can get the date.
1906.
White eyes only. Go ahead. Next slide. Read that. Blow it up some. Start at some.
Some of the darker winds.
Stop. Why are the winds being called dark-skinned people? The winds is another nationality of people that, if time permit, we're going to get there too. Why are they called dark-skinned people? Read.
May well have been among the black Vikings.
Wait a minute. The Dub Genti. Read.
Referred to in the Irish annals.
We're going to get that too. Read.
As well as in those of Wales.
So you had black Vikings in the winds and in the Wales. Read.
And may have been the people who left the Anglo-Saxon name.
They left the name of Israelites. When they started going off, remember earlier it said they became hundreds of surnames.
Right.
Read.
Blackmanburg,
Read.
which occurs in one of the characters, Blackmanstone on the Kentish coast, and Blackmanstone on the Dorset coast.
What do y'all see going on here? Everything is started with what?
Black.
Black. Because we just read earlier, they are given their nationality because of the color of their skin. Started in Buckingham.
In Buckinghamshire,
Yep.
Blackman, Swarthinus, and others are mentioned.
Swarthinus. Yes. Read.
In Sussex, one named Black. In Suffolk, Blackmanus and
Swarthinus, that's black.
and others at Lincoln.
And others at Lincoln. Read.
The invasion of the coast of the British Isles.
The invasion? Keep going.
The invasion of the coast of the British Isles by Vikings of a dark or black complexion.
Of a dark and black complexion. We went over there and invaded all of that and took it over like it was ours. Started in the Irish. Give me that.
In the Irish annals of black Vikings are called Dub Genti.
They're called Dub Genti
or Black Gentiles.
or Black Gentiles. The same thing they was called in the New Testament.
Right.
The same thing. Read.
These black Gentiles on some occasions fought against other plunderers of the Irish coast known as the Fair Gentiles.
Scroll it down. So the black Gentiles, the black Vikings fought against white Gentiles. Read.
Who can hardly have been others than the fair Danes or Northmen.
They was the Danes of the Northmen. Y'all got something? We're going to keep going.
Danes sound like...
Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to number 12. Read that title for me. So we got the black, so we understand Dub Genti, Dub Gael is the black Vikings, the Finn Gael and the Fair Gael are the white Vikings. We start to get an understanding, right? Read this. What's the name of this book?
Chronicle of Irish Affairs from the earliest times to AD 1135.
I don't know why in the world we reading this off. I don't know. Go to the next one. Read the highlighted part. Scroll, bold up for him.
Dub Genti.
Yep.
I.e. Black Gentiles.
Black what?
Black Gentiles.
Black Gentiles. Black Gentiles. I just wanted to show that definition. Go to number 13. Go to number, matter of fact, go to number 13, page 111. And then we're going to get some scriptures.
Help me.
Help me.
The consideration of that.
Oh, damn. Scroll down a little bit. Read the top part. Can you do it? Scroll down. Read that.
The British Bronze
No.
Age.
The title.
Oh, our dark forefathers.
Our darker forefathers. Now read the consideration.
The consideration of the evidence that the people of brunette complexions.
A brunette, read.
Were among the Anglo-Saxon settlers in England leads on to that the people of people of a still darker hue.
They have a darker hue?
The dark, black, or brown black settlers.
That's who the Anglo-Saxons were. What we know was who? The Israelites. You got something else?
Isaac,
You got something? Anglo-Saxons, angelic sons of Isaac. Read on.
Probably there must have been some of these among the Anglo-Saxons.
Let's see what else they was called.
For we meet with the personal names Blackman,
Black,
Blakeman,
Black,
Blakeman,
Black,
Blackaman,
Black,
Black Sunu,
Black,
Blaker,
Black,
and Blackman.
Black.
In various documents of the period.
Why are they calling themselves that? Because we read it earlier, officer. They're calling them their nationality by the color of their skin because they left the name of Israel. And we're going to get that. Go ahead.
Ain't this book called something about Irish?
Yes, the Irish Annals.
And it's got a section called Our Darker Forefathers?
People wouldn't think to go into this book and read it.
Right.
They wouldn't think that. Go to the next page, 112. Scroll over.
Jeez.
Read that part.
There is another old word used by the Anglo-Saxons to denote black or brown black.
I just like beating stuff in the head. Go ahead.
The word Swartz.
Swartz. Read.
The personal names
Seward or what?
and Seward
Wasn't King James a Stewart?
yes,
Read.
may have been derived from this word and may have originally denoted people of a dark brown and black complexion.
So when King James was the Stuart king, it came from his forefathers of the Anglo-Saxons who changed their name over time to go with their complexion and called it black. Read on.
The so-called black men of the Anglo-Saxon period probably included some of the darker Windish people.
The Windish people among them. Read.
Immigrants are descendants of the people of the same race as the ancestors of the Sorbs of Lusatia.
Watch this.
On the
Go over. Oh, that's not the right one. Go over. 114. What? Yep, right there. 114.
Our complexions may have come to England.
So some people of another race came into England. Remember earlier I said they did come upon us and they end up beating us at one point. Right. Read.
As thralls.
They became what?
Thralls.
These people of a darker complexion became thralls.
Among the Norse invaders.
What is a thrall? What is a thrall? Give me that definition. What is a thrall? Go ahead. What is a thrall? I put it right there. It's the definition. The darker complexions that was living over there that got taken over by the Norse invaders, they became thralls when they took over those people. Read the definition.
A thrall was a slave.
A what?
A slave.
So we became slaves. We became thralls during the Viking age when we got taken over, when they started rising up again. Go ahead, Arthur.
Hey, so all the way at the beginning of this this fire class, it's some great history also. Give me Isaiah 65 and 11. Watch this. Because it's Gad. That's what we're talking about. The northern kingdom is Gad. Watch this.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 11.
Come on.
But ye are they that forsake the Lord.
Because they were in captivity, got the right to leave, but it didn't, like you said, at that time period, they wasn't keeping all the commandments. They were still forsaking the Lord. Read.
That forget my holy mountain.
Come on.
That prepare a table for that truth.
So we use this to explain what's Andrew Jackson, right? Okay, but remember, the curses are like a ring. So at this very same time, they were also preparing a table for another army like you're getting into. Watch this, read on.
And that furnished the drink offering unto that number.
Now watch this. Now get me verse 15.
Come on.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
They stopped calling themselves the nation of Israel. They was in another land, not keeping God's commandments, and now they're starting to call themselves by another name. Read.
Unto my chosen.
Come on.
For the Lord God shall slay.
Shall do what?
Shall slay.
Shall
thee.
do what?
Shall slay.
That's
thee.
why it was a dark age. Because after that, that's when the same white Vikings came and conquered the dark Vikings and went right back into slavery.
Right.
We just read it. It was right there. Read that verse again.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
Come on.
Unto my chosen. For the Lord God shall slay thee.
Read.
And call his servants by another name.
That's Moors, that's Swarte, that's brown, black, all them things you just read. That's the what? All of those things. Because we started calling ourselves by a different name. The scripture said that Gad, the troop, prepared a table for another army. It's all scriptural. It's all prophetic.
Give 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 41. You in the spirit, also. 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 41.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 41.
And then get those images. 15. Go ahead.
At that time.
You can go ahead and show the images while he's reading this. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm reading 2. 41.
Yep.
And the merchants of that country, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold and very much with servants. took silver gold very much with service, and came into the camp
To do what?
buy the children of Israel
For what?
slaves.
For slaves. So they sold us as thralls during that time period. As thralls during that time period. Get me number 16. Let's get that book title. This next book is called The History of the Vikings. Like you said, officer, why would we go into the library and look at some of these books to think to go into them? You got something else?
Now, I was just going to say, a lot of people, let me not say a lot of people, myself, I know or known the Vikings for being great at war, for being conquerors, those things, but they always leave out our part of history. They always leave out our part of history. Let me get Psalms right quick. 144 and verse 1.
Book of Psalms, chapter 144 and verse 1.
Yep.
Blessed be the Lord my strength.
Come on.
Which teacheth my hands to war.
So the Vikings, who we read about in history, not the white ones, not the what, fair, genty, whatever. I ain't really try to remember their side. They were blessed with war, but at this time, we already had it. That's why you had the Maccabean period, the scripture you just pulled. We had all of that already. David, we had great men of war, but our power and our strength came from when we kept God's commandments.
A history of the Vikings.
Come on.
Revised edition.
Yep, go ahead. Go to the next one. Do it got a date on it? Go down. It may not. Yeah, it does.
1984.
Go next. Read that. Remember I said earlier, remember the who? The Pits?
Yeah, the Pictish.
Read.
Yeah.
The Danes then were like the Moors.
What color?
Black.
The Danes were black people.
Bruh.
Like
They was black. Read.
Like them too, they were Picts.
They were Picts. Read.
As more than one eminent writer has proved.
Watch this.
The title of Gorm.
Of Gorm.
Woad-stained is not confined to Highland genealogy.
We were the Highlanders too.
It can only be one.
Gad was the Highlanders too.
Hey, look, just to bring it back into the fact of AOG, right? You know we do the TV show on Netflix, The Kingdom and Vikings, all of that, Van Halen, all of that stuff. Those names are what you see up there, Danes and Picts and all of that stuff. They depict all of them as Esau. That's us,
right? That's my point. That is us.
Going back to that verse we pulled earlier in Daniel 7. This is why Esau had to hide this history.
Oh yes.
He got cooked.
He can. We see, like you said, we see those Viking shows and we see them like fighting. We see Esau. We see the white man doing this, but it was our people that was out there doing it. Our people were Vikings, and we were the kings. Like the so-called royal bloodline over there in England today. That ain't the real people.
That ain't the real people. Remember earlier it said Africans, quote unquote, were the original inhabitants.
Right.
Lord's where we can get it. Go back to that book. Let's speed it up a little bit. Start at it was the actual name.
It was the actual name of a grim old pagan Dane.
We wasn't keeping the commandments, like officer said. Read.
Who ruled over Denmark.
Yeah, black people ruling over Denmark. Denmark. Why are we up there? Read.
In the earlier part of the 10th century. And the word survived lately in that province.
Let's see what they was called, because maybe I'm wrong.
Of the Black Gentiles.
The Black Gentiles, or the Black Vikings. Where?
Northumberland.
Northumberland.
Where it bore the significance to smear to daub.
To daub, which is black. Read.
So also where the Picts, known as such,
read
at home on.
So the Black Gentiles or the Picts or the Danes was known at home. Read.
On sea as well as on land, like the Danes.
They was known to be great fighters on sea and land. Read on.
In the year 729.
Didn't we just read that in the other one? Right. Read.
The Irish annals record that 3 ships.
Do the best you can.
3 ships of the Picardoc.
Yep.
Were wrecked this year on Irish
cuisine. Yep. Era cuisine. Read.
The 10 years previously, there had been fought the maritime battle of Ardnasby.
That was the battle call that we read earlier when I said we lost. Read.
Between Duncan, the son of Beck, with the tribe Garbrand.
That's another topic. Read.
The Shellback with the
tribe Lorne. Read.
In which battle certain chiefs were slain.
Why was they called chiefs? Read.
Whether as Danes or as Picts.
Whether you want to call them the Danes or the Pict.
They were a swarthy.
They was a swarthy.
Piratical.
Piratical race. They was a swarthy, piratical race.
Wow.
Pull up the definition of piratical. The next slide. They was piratical, black, swarthy people living in those places. What does that mean?
What does piratical mean in history?
Let's go.
Typically of a pirate.
They were pirates too. It said the Northern Kingdom that was pirates on some boats with Esau, they didn't do raids on a Saturday because they was keeping the Sabbath. I got the book. I got the records. Where we at? Go to the next one.
Gee.
We ain't got much time. Go to the next one. Ancient, modern, and Baton.
It's some cold history.
I had some AI, but you could just show them as when y'all edit it. Go to the ancient, number 18.
Ancient and Modern Britons, a retrospect, volume 1, 1884.
Oh, nah. Go back to number 16. Go back to number 16. I think y'all jumped too far. That was my bad. Go to number 16.
Good history.
Go to number 16. It's all good, though. We straight. Yep, number 16.
You're going to learn today.
Come on. We ain't got that much time. Nope. Yes. Read that.
The Viking peoples who lived between the neck of Jutland and the Loftons.
Keep reading. Look up Jutland and look up Lofoten's. Go ahead.
Song and Uppsala.
Read.
Were not all alike.
So look up Jutland, Lotoftens, and Uppsala. Lotoften and Song is the same thing. Read.
And empathetically, not of one pure Nordic race.
Read.
But two main types of Scandinavians.
There's two types of Scandinavians up there.
Have always been recognizable.
Read.
The one tall of stature.
Wow.
Fair or ruddy complexion. Light-haired, blue-eyed, long of face and skull.
So that one is the what? The white Gentiles. You see how?
Right.
He said ugly.
Long face.
Ugly.
Yeah, it said ugly. They just drew it out because they wrote it.
Read the next one. Let's see what the other Scandinavian was.
The other, shorter.
We know that's a lie, but go ahead.
Dark complexion. Brown.
Yep.
Or dark hair.
Yep.
Brown eyes.
Yep.
Broad faced.
And
round of skull.
That's going into the black Vikings of Scandinavia. Y'all found them definitions of Jutland. Show it. We got to be quick. Jutland. What's Jutland, officer?
Jutland. Jutland is a peninsula of northern Europe that forms the continental portion of Denmark.
So we had black Vikings ruling over Denmark and what?
And parts of northern Germany.
And Germany. Give me the next one. Latofen. We got black people all over there. So when they said some of us said we're gonna stay over here after we got let go into Persian captivity, they was everywhere over there. And yes, we built colonies over there. Kingdoms. Go ahead. We only got like 10, 15 more minutes.
I want to run it back
Then
to
we're gonna
the
make a
fact
stop.
that we was putting Esau to death too.
Black oppressors.
Bruh, feel like a black oppressor.
What's Latofen?
Lofoten.
My bad.
Lofoten. Lafuta. Is an archipelago.
Yep.
And a traditional district in the country of Norland.
Where is that at?
Norway.
Why is black people in Norway? Why is we in Norway? Building up kingdoms and societies and stuff like that. Go to the last one. Uppsala, I can't never say it. Uppsala, one of them.
You know how much these Edomites, you can find Edomites who pride themselves in them Nordic symbols and stuff like
Celtic
that.
history,
Yep. Right. How it feel to know that that's a lie? It wasn't your people. It was
It's
mine.
not your people.
It was mine.
It's not your people.
How it feel?
Go
Your
ahead.
history is trash.
Read that.
Uppsala. Trash. Uppsala is the capital of Uppsala County and the 4th largest city in Sweden.
And where?
Sweden.
In Sweden. Now I'm gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna stop right there. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna do 2
You might
more.
have to do a part 2 on this.
Yep. Get number 19. Get number 19. Get number 19. Yep. Let's get this book. This book is called what? Go ahead.
The Hebrew or Iberian race. The Pelasgians, the Phoenicians,
Yep.
the Jews, the British, and others.
When was this book written?
Oh, y'all got to help me.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Oh, y'all was ready to rebuke me.
Yeah.
Y'all was ready to rebuke me if I ain't know it.
What'd you say?
1872.
1872. White eyes only.
Hey, we glad you came.
Go next.
Came in the clutch.
Came to clutch. So remember earlier. I said, you got something? Remember earlier, it said what? In the African root slide. It said Africans was not visitors. They were the original inhabitants
of the land.
of England, Scandinavia, Wales, Germany, Britain, all these places. Remember I said they just do that sometimes, right? Read that. Read that. Number 19, start at the element.
The element of the Hebrew race.
Let's stop right there. Who we talking about?
The Hebrew
The
race
Hebrews. Read on.
exists in the high.
In high proportion. Go ahead, scroll over. Y'all gotta stay with us. In high proportion. Blow it up.
In the high proportion.
Blow it up. Y'all gotta stay with us.
In the most singular and highly interesting
Yes.
in the high
No. Yes. In high proportion.
in high proportion
Yes.
in Great Britain.
And where?
Britain.
The Hebrew race was in high proportion in Great Britain,
Germany,
in Germany.
and Scandinavia.
Read.
And in less portion in France.
They was in France. Read.
and in other countries on the shores of the Mediterranean.
Of the Mediterranean. Of the Mediterranean. Of the Mediterranean. Get Galatians chapter 1 and verse 1. Matter of fact, get Galatians 1 and 1. Is that what talk about the brethren?
Galatians chapter 1 and verse 2. And all the brethren which are with me unto the churches of Galatia.
He said his brothers was in the church of Galatia, or the Gallics, or the Gauls, or the Gales, or the Gentiles, or the Dub Genti, encompassing the northern kingdom of Israel. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 21.
The book of 2 Timothy
We almost done. We're going
Chapter
to
4.
do a part 2.
in verse 21.
Yup.
Do thy diligence to come before winter. Ebullus greeteth thee, and Pudens, and Linus, and Claudia.
And who?
And all the brethren.
And Claudia and Linus. Did that say it? Linus? Linus and Claudia and all the brethren. Where was this at? This was in Great Britain. I ain't got time to go into history. I was trying to go into it. But when you go into this history, Linus, Claudius, all of that, and all the brethren, this was during the time of Great Britain. Remember, it said Hebrews race was in high proportion in Great Britain, Scandinavia, Germany, less in France, but they was Galatia. They was there, right? 2 more things, and then we're going to stop. Get Philippians chapter 4, verse 22. And then get me that last book, the Foxes and Martyrs book.
Book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 22.
Come on.
All the saints salute you, chiefly they that are of Caesar's household.
They that are who?
Caesar's household.
When you go into the history of Caesar's household, during the time of 55 AD, Caesar raided Great Britain. He raided Britain and took over that land and set up certain of his places in Britain. Julius Caesar did that. That's why it said some of them in the household of Caesars. Those were where the Britons or the Britons were in the New Testament, which goes back to the ancient modern Britons, which were the northern kingdom of Israel. Why am I bringing this out? Last thing. Bring out that book, Fox and Martyrs, and we're going to stop there. All right.
For now. Fox's Book of Martyrs.
The Fox's Book of Martyrs. Remember, why am I bringing out all of this stuff about Great Britain and all of this stuff? We already proved that Paul went to France, Galatia, Gaul, and all those to teach the northern kingdom that was there during the time of the Persian captivity. Read that.
1856.
Next slide. Yep. Read Simon. Read Simon.
Simon, the apostle and martyr, was distinguished from his zeal by the name of Zelotes.
This is Simon the Zealot. Read.
He preached with great success in Mauritania.
He preached in Mauritania.
And other parts of Africa.
Of Africa.
And even in Britain.
And where?
Britain.
Why was he going to Great Britain? Because it was Israelites that was living, it was Northern Kingdom that was living in Great Britain, calling themselves the Britons, calling themselves Dub Genti, calling themselves Vikings. That's why Simon had to go to Great Britain during his commission to teach Northern Kingdom, because they was in places like Great Britain calling themselves the Black Vikings.
Boy.
Why else would he go over there? You got something else?
Yep, give me Hebrews 11 and verse 13.
And we can end it right there.
And one more after that. Let me get 2nd Ezra 6. Because guess what? God already said, every place that your foot tread is yours. Watch this. Come on, read that.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 16.
Yep.
But now they desire a better country.
Come on.
That is, and heavenly.
I said 13. Yep, read on.
You want 13?
I want 11 and 13.
Oh, okay, yes, sir. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 11.
Yep.
Through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive
What is he
seed.
reading?
Hebrews 11 and 13.
Oh, I thought you said 11. Okay, my bad. 13. All these died in faith, not having received the promise,
Come on.
but having seen them afar off,
Read.
and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
It said they confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Right.
Understanding a pilgrim is one who travels, who's scattered throughout the earth. That's what a stranger is. Now
That's
get 2nd
right.
Ezra 6 and give me verse 59.
2nd Ezra chapter 6
Hold
and
on.
verse 59. If the world now be made for our sake.
For who?
For our sake.
It said the world was made for the Israelites everywhere. That's why I said the place that our feet shall tread in Deuteronomy.
Right.
How did that happen? Everywhere we were scattered is where our feet tread, which ultimately means that the entire earth belongs to the Israelites. Read it again.
If the world now be made for our sake.
Come on.
Why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Read.
How long shall this endure?
So there's a question. How long shall this endure? When you go back to Hebrews 11, it said that we desire a heavenly place, meaning rulership again in this earth.
Right.
And it's going to come in time.
It's the last one. Get number 23. Because when we read Genesis 49, Gad was considered what? They said a what? A troop.
A troop.
Right? This is the last one, and then we're going to end it right there. Number 23, we'll pick it up later. This is the history of the Vikings. Scroll over. Read that.
The Welsh chroniclers,
The Welsh Chronicles, read.
for example, made no such clear distinction.
Watch this, officer.
The Danes coming in by way of England
Uh-huh.
and the Norwegians
The Norwegians of
by
England,
way of Ireland
Ireland,
were pretty well all black.
they were all black people. Read on.
black Gentiles.
Watch this, officer.
Black Norsemen.
There was the black Norsemen.
black hosts.
Read.
Pagans, devils,
Uh-huh.
and the like.
Keep going.
The history of
Do your best. Yep.
Apkinen
Uh-huh.
mentions both Danes and Norwegians.
They mentioned the Danes and the Norwegians. Let's see what they called them. Read.
And the unknown author of the Preluded,
Just do your best. Make brilliant.
Rondwy,
Yep.
make brilliant,
Uh-huh.
if fantastic play
With the what?
With the pure white troops
The Lokeland, and watch this.
of Lokeland
Uh-huh.
and the pure black troops
The black troops of what?
of Denmark.
Black Vikings. So we're going to stop right there. Get that thumbnail. We're going to stop right there. No,
Fire.
get that AI. Get that AI or that black troop, and then we're going to stop right there.
Fire.
In the red. In the
Gotta be a
red.
part two. Gotta be a part two.
Hot fire.
The black troop.
Just want to let you know, officer.
We're going to stop right there.
There's going to be a few times in this lesson, people are going to pause and you're going to get some haters. All praise
Oh,
to
yeah.
the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
All praise to the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
All praise to the Most High.
So listen, come back for part 2. We'll let y'all know when it's ready. Let y'all know for part 2. I'm your host. Right here. Where was that?
Boom.
Donate.
Donate. So we
Send the prophets through the four corners of the earth.
Right there.
Where they have been scattered. All in England. And we just brought out all in Europe.
Right.
All
Yes.
over the four
Right.
corners of the earth.
We have to go to these places.
That's right.
So hey, I'm your host, Officer Sear, to my left,
Officer Menahem.
to my right,
Officer Ebniah.
my far right,
Also polite.
my far left,
Officer David.
and this is the
Armor God, Armor God radio show. All praise to the